Okay, so our article begins by saying chocolate is a sweet treat that makes people feel great. And yeah, I think we covered that pretty well in today's introduction. As Elsie said, it does cause our body to release a chemical that makes us feel happy, which is one of the reasons why it's so popular.
Right. 我们这边说到呢 chocolate 会让我们的身体产生化学物质，让我们变得开心。No wonder every time after I eat chocolate, I feel so happy. However, as the article says, unfortunately, discovering the truth about how it's made has the opposite effect. The opposite effect, 相反的效果。
Yes, this means that as we learn more about how chocolate is made, instead of feeling happy, we will feel sad, the opposite effect. Okay, and the article explains why this is. So in 2003, a Dutch reporter called Teun van der Keuken, I think I'm saying that right, learned the industry's dark secrets when he investigated how cocoa is made. Now there we use the word Dutch, D-U-T-C-H, Dutch, to mean someone from the Netherlands.
Dutch 荷兰的 Teun 是一位 Dutch reporter 荷兰的记者。那 Dutch 也可以是指荷兰人或是荷兰语。那么荷兰的国家名称呢？我们可以说 the Netherlands 或者是 Holland. Alright, Dutch reporter Teun knew the dark secrets when investigating how cocoa is made.
That is correct. So to investigate, I-N-V-E-S-T-I-G-A-T-E, investigate something means to find out as much as possible about that thing, usually to find out the truth, okay? Police would investigate a crime, for example. The noun form is an investigation. Now, it could be formal or informal, but it's always a careful process where everything is looked at one part at a time, so the person who is investigating has all of the facts.
Investigate 动词调查 The police are investigating the murder. 警方正在调查这桩谋杀案。那名词我们说 investigation. The suspects are under investigation. 嫌犯们正在接受调查。Okay, what did the reporter find out? What were the dark secrets?
Well, the article says he learned that most chocolate is produced by millions of children in West Africa working as slaves, which is terrible. Now, we use this phrase working as to describe what someone does and often to talk about their job. I work as a teacher and an editor, for example.
To work as 后面加上职称 I work as a teacher too. However, the millions of children in West Africa work as slaves, and that doesn't mean the same as a job.
That is sad but true. So a slave, S-L-A-V-E, slave, is a person who is owned by another person. You don't have to pay a slave, you just give them a little bit of food, a place to sleep, and then make them work. A slave can't quit. Several hundred years ago, slaves were very common, and many people from Africa were owned by white people in Europe and America. Thankfully, owning slaves is now against international law, but unfortunately, that doesn't seem to stop it from happening.
Slave 奴隶，数百年前呢，许多欧洲国家和美国都有 slavery 奴隶制度。现在虽然是违法的，但似乎还是有这样的情况。The article gives more details to show how bad life is for these poor kids. It says, if these children try to escape or contact their parents, they are beaten or killed.
Now, this is horrible, of course. To escape, E-S-C-A-P-E, escape, means to get away from someone or something bad. People in prison would probably like to escape, for example. Escape can be a noun, so we could say there was an escape from a prison last night. And we can also talk about someone making their escape, another noun. Now, these kids in Africa, they want to escape from slavery, but it's dangerous for them if they try to do so.
Right. To escape means to run away, 也就是逃跑的意思。从某处逃跑，我们可以说 to escape from or to run away from。后面加地方。如果在西非受到奴役的孩子们想要 escape from slavery， 后果不堪设想。The Dutch guy discovered these dark secrets. The article goes on to talk about how he felt. It says Toon was not only angry at the chocolate makers, but also at himself.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's easy to feel angry towards people who keep slaves, but why was he angry at himself? The article explains that by buying chocolate, he was supporting their business.
Oh, that would make a person feel bad, especially as we've been buying chocolate all our lives without knowing the truth.
Yep.
The article goes on to say, thus Toon asked the police to arrest him for aiding slave owners. To arrest somebody for doing something 因某事而逮捕某人。这里我们的主角要警方以帮助奴隶主人的罪名来逮捕他。Aid, A-I-D, means to help or support, 也就是帮助、协助的意思。Would the police arrest him for helping slave owners?
Well, yeah, he said, I helped these people keep these kids as slaves, put me in jail. Well, what happened next? The article says he wasn't found guilty of this crime, but his reaction helped to raise awareness about the problem. Now, we've got a couple of words to look at here. The first word is guilty, G-U-I-L-T-Y, guilty. If you are guilty of something, then you did something almost always bad. We sometimes talk about being proved guilty, which means you went to court and the judge or jury officially decided that it was you who carried out the crime. We can also say found guilty for the same thing. This is when a judge or jury makes that official decision. You have been found guilty. They say you're guilty, okay, or found not guilty. So here they said Toon was not responsible for the crime of helping slave owners.
Guilty 有罪的 Toon wasn't found guilty 代表他判无罪。相反的，若他被判有罪，我们会说 he was found guilty。至于被判的是什么罪呢？我们用 of 这个介系词带出罪名。例如呢 he was found guilty of murder， 他被判谋杀罪。那另外呢 guilty 也可以是感到内疚的意思哦。I feel so guilty， 我觉得好内疚哦。为什么内疚呢？原因用 about 带出来。I feel so guilty about leaving you alone at home。我对于把你一个人留在家里感到相当愧疚。The other word in the last sentence we have to look at is reaction.
Yep, that is right. So your reaction, R-E-A-C-T-I-O-N, reaction is what you say or do after something else happens first. We usually use reaction to mean what you do or how you feel, but it can also mean what someone says. It's similar to the word response, R-E-S-P-O-N-S-E, response. Now, it's also related to the word action. Okay, so an action happens and then there is a reaction. Okay, action, reaction. And the verb form of this word is react, R-E-A-C-T, react. Reaction
名词反应。A chemical reaction 化学反应，相信同学们都听过，对不对？那人对事情的反应呢？我们可以说 a reaction to something. What was his reaction to the situation? 他对这状况的反应是什么呢？ We can also say how did he react to the situation? React 就是动词反应了。文章中呢 Toon 对事件的 reaction 让人们意识到奴隶问题 awareness 我们是用 aware 知道的字尾再加上 ness 构成一个名词意识 So Toon didn't go to prison, but something else happened. The article says Tony's chocolate became Tu's long-term solution. The company produces 100% slave-free chocolate.
Okay, so what that would mean is that none of the beans are picked or processed and none of it is made by people working as slaves, okay? This means no slaves are used. It's all free workers who are getting paid and can go home. Now, the article also says, in fact, Tony's Chocolonely, it is the only chocolate company that promises to do this, okay? Other companies maybe don't make that promise, possibly because they're not sure where some of their supplies come from.
Right.
But his company, this Tony's Chocolonely, is saying, absolutely, we promise there is no slave-made chocolate here.
Right. We also learned that Tu's vision is that every chocolate lover can know the truth about their favorite treat.
Here, we're using the word vision, V-I-S-I-O-N, vision, to mean a person or a group's plan for the future. It is the thing that they want to happen and that they are trying to work toward, okay? So company leaders and politicians often have a vision of what they want to achieve. Now, it is very good if you have a vision for your own future. But if you don't have a vision for it, there is no need to worry. You have plenty of time to figure out your vision.
Vision 幻象、幻觉，或是文章中的眼光、远见。To have a vision of something 对某事有远见。The boss has a great vision of the company's future. 老板对公司的未来有很棒的远见。
That's right. We can use a vision of or a vision for. Both are actually okay.
或者是我们把介系词 of 改成 for 也可以。So why does Tu want everyone to know the truth? Well, the article finishes by saying, if customers stop buying chocolate from companies that use slavery, these businesses will have to change their ways.
Okay, so that's what he wants. He wants everyone to say, well, hang on, they do it with no slaves, so I'm going to buy their stuff and I'm not going to buy your stuff, you know, Nestle or Cadbury's or Hershey, because you're not promising to do the same thing.
Right.
Now, in that line there, we saw the word slavery, S-L-A-V-E-R-Y, and this is the noun form we use to talk about the practice of owning slaves.
Slavery 它是奴隶制度的意思。再复习一下我们刚刚学过的 slave 奴隶。We also saw the phrase change one's ways.
Yeah, to change one's ways, that is today's shortcut for you. Okay, we're going to watch the video to find out a bit more about what it means. And since that is the end of our article about Tony's Chocolonely, when we come back from watching our shortcut for you video, we will be discussing today's For You chat question.